Alright, hello everybody. Turn 42 of Roots Bloody Roots. It's a pleasant Friday up here in Wisconsin. Just finished grilling myself up some steak and having myself a nice brandy old fashioned here, so it's good times. Let's see what's happening in the world of Dominions. So Abyssia sent this message. I understand Abyssia's frustration completely. Ariu told me that they were going to attack Abyssia, but I didn't think that they were going to be an asshole about it. So that's worrying. In case you're wondering about these gems for Satis, I gave Satis 40 death gems for them. From my point of view, death versus fire air is pretty much a wash. Like, fire is a little more valuable for me right now, I'd say, but I could put the death gems to good use. That said, Satis can put the death gems to great use, and they are our best hope against elves. So I had a short conversation with Abyssia, just kind of talking about, it sucks that you backstabbed you, and Abyssia knows that they're on the way out. I mean, they've got a decent amount of land right now, but you have to play a broken nation to be able to survive a 3v1, and Abyssia is cool, but they are not a broken nation. So even with me stumbling into battles with poor tactics, they can see which way the wind is blowing. So that's the thing. At this point, basically, geopolitically, I want Satis to make as much noise over here as possible, with the plan being to keep Ariu occupied down there with hordes of skeletons and poison and all the other shit that Satis can pull, and then Asphodel will claim the west of Abyssia, I'll claim the east, and then I'll just kind of roll southernly. I'm going to have good tactics if I want to prevail over Ariu, because they're probably, I would expect them to be as strong as I am, if not much stronger. But I've got access to a wide variety of goodies, and they'll be distracted, and I won't, provided that Asphodel keeps up what we talked about before of basically being partners for life. I guess the question would be, does Asphodel see an incentive to attack me after all this Abyssia business is sorted out? I'm going to try to talk them into going after Tianchi, basically. Tianchi, I've got a case for myself. Tianchi has 2 globals. They've got a lot of land. The 2 globals that they have are pretty strong, so they're getting 20 earth gems a turn and a crap ton of money. But I mean, at some level, you gotta hope that your neighbors make the decisions you want them to. Asphodel is a completely independent nation with an independent thinking controller, and I could try to talk him into doing what benefits me more, and I think that going southwest and leaving me alone would benefit him as well, but he is a real person with real feelings. So we'll see where that goes. Abyssia did not move any of these guys around. I think, there's 2 reasons for that. One, Abyssia's gotten tired of this whole charade, is just kind of waiting to see where things go. Or 2, Abyssia thought that I would kind of move to where they were, expecting them to no longer be there when I moved. So, if that was their plan, then it didn't work this time. Obviously, there's not much rush for them to take the cloud breakers here with its 2 income. It does make some earth gems, which I'm very happy to see. And they'll probably make more stuff if I can search it. Anyways, let's look through the rest of the messages. So we've got the Iron Range, which then Airyu moved in on that one. So we moved into it simultaneously. Let's go ahead and watch that battle. While that battle is loading up, let's zoom out a bit. So on the Airyu side, there's a Tuatha. This guy's got Frostbrand and some good magic. He is a spell singer, so he takes less fatigue, but his spells come out more slowly. And then on my side is Eagle with lifelong protection, which is never-ending stream of imps, and this ring of ensnaring flames. So let's go ahead and watch this while I enjoy my old-fashioned. So we can zoom in because over here is where the action is, since my dudes fly, his doesn't. He made an air elemental. I don't know how he made that. I didn't see any air gems. He made an air elemental. And the air elemental, I don't know where he went either. I guess they're still green here. Maybe the air elemental is still flying. There's some fighting going on over here. Yeah, the air elemental joined up to fight the eagle, but air elementals can be cool and scary, but they do not scare eagles. So, meanwhile, we're continuing to shit out imps. If you go ahead and look at Airyu's guy, he has not blessed himself. He's cast Flight on himself, so now literally everyone on this battlefield can fly. He plays the Thunderstrike, but it wipes out an imp, and that's not going to do against the force he's facing. He's got Mistform, so it takes a little longer, but he is outnumbered. And so that was a happy accident, if you will. Went and grabbed Iron Range and killed a thug without consequence. Battle here between Asphodel and Abyssia. So Asphodel just scouted with this one foul spawn. You can see what Abyssia has here. It's not very much. So I'm not going to bore you with that battle. Let's see, over here. So this is mainly interesting because we see what Airyu is deploying. So they've got a good number of their sacreds who, they've got Glamour and Stealthy. Their actual stats aren't eye-popping or anything, although their defense is quite good. And then a couple more Tuathas, we already saw those. Each of them is carrying a gem, so there's probably a scout that's feeding them a gem. And then some Mist Warriors. These guys are pretty cool. They're ethereal, they're mindless floating, so you can't just earthquake them away. And they have these mist bows, which if they hit you with a mist bow, then it does false feathers, which is basically kind of like a vine shield that traps you until you meet some type of quest, some type of check. Bypass any armor. So I don't know if false feathers just happens on negating if the bow hits. But anyway, that's happening. They got a champion here, a bunch of foul spawns. I don't actually know how Airyu got all these foul spawns, because I thought he'd get blood for that. But on the Abyssian side, they just got some PD healing grids. So Airyu is very much going to win this battle. But we do get to see their bless, which we haven't actually seen yet. So this is mostly a mage bless, I would say. Reinvigoration, poison resistance. So the reinvigoration would be Earth 4. Poison resistance is 2, and then dark vision is... I thought dark vision was only 1. Maybe it's 2. So the poison resistance is unfortunate. Although I assume that most of Airyu's deployment will not actually be sacred, because I think they're sacred to the Cat Woman. result of that battle was 6 foul spawns died. But it's good to know that foul vapors will be a little bit less effective because of the poison resist on the bless. Let's see. Spied a battle between Nabah and Jotunheim. But this is again just PvP, so I won't bore you with that. Battle in Roka. What do we have here? This is my raiding force versus PD. Okay. Did I get any? I did get that Mound King that ran away from my province. Unexpected events. Some nature gems. Man from the heavens. This site is a blood slave generating site, so not the most useful to me, but it's better than nothing. So this is interesting. There's this tomb that one of my dudes entered and found these boots, but is also guarded by this force here. So we can go ahead and see who is guarding the tomb that we were trying to raid. So there's this spectral mage. He doesn't have any goodies, and he's got a mix of paths. On my side, there's some random dudes and Tammy. So Tammy's going through her buff cycle. These long dead horsemen are charging up. Tammy's big. And she's completed her buffs, and she's fighting off the horsemen. And now we see the power of these buffs. She's sitting at 26 prot. She's got regen, she's got reinvigoration, so while she's high on fatigue right now, she's going to fix that. She's resistant to every type of damage, and she's got extra attack and defense thanks to being a hero. So these guys can't hurt her through her regen, so it's just a question of how long do they last. Eventually she cuts them down. They don't wreck because they're skeletons. But then at some point she'll beat these guys and we get to see her versus the actual ghost grip in there. She's got 15 magic resistance, so ghost grip isn't, like, she's not immune to that. I could give her a amulet to help with that if it was needed, but it's not needed right now. Fortunately, she's only taking them out one at a time because the frostband isn't effective against skeletons. But this guy's just sitting here casting Ghost Grip over here. Okay, this is pretty boring. We can all see where that's going to end. And yeah, oh, not that one. We lost one of our dancers, but she wiped everybody out. Good job, Tammy. Lost some money in Solram, so that's unfortunate. So this is interesting. Turmoil everywhere. It's probably actually, like, this not as bad for me as for perhaps other races because I have the luck scale, so the extra events from Turmoil will help cancel out the money loss. But the Palisade here, which is probably actually a mistake because now Umbro here can't produce as many sacreds, but it is what it is. Looks like Ryuga Joe has successfully conquered this fort here. They're probably going to mop this up. I could dial up Ryuga Joe and ask them for this, and they might say yes. I'm not really too worried about it. I have bigger fish to fry than Ryuga Joe, and I don't think Ryuga Joe has a good avenue to attack me or good incentive. So basically, as long as I keep enough troops around that it doesn't look like an easy target. Big thing was that I hit construction 6 this turn, so I'm doing lots of forging. Let's see, lightless lanterns, lots of lightless lanterns coming out. That'll get my research into high gear. Crown of the Frost King, so we can look at that. Just this guy here. You get a massive amount of chill and a couple of ice elementals following you around, so that seemed fun. Basically, I was looking to see what sort of artifacts have not been claimed, and surprisingly, there were a bunch. So here, Messi here is making these boots. These guys have, like, they're basically Boots of the Messenger, but triple. Like, reinvigoration 10 instead of 3. So that's glorious. Skull Cap, which in turn let me make the, I think it's a Vine Bracelet. This is another nature booster. A Bloodthorn. Anything else that I'm making of note? Not this time. Doing some searching over here, and then go ahead and search over here. So the plan is next turn will be when we make yet another push towards Abyssia. I'll have the thugs in play as well as all of the sacreds, and I'm summoning lots of birds with the intention of cracking this fort quickly, and we'll see where it goes. I have high hopes. I've had high hopes before a couple times. You've seen it, but it's worth a try. So we'll see how that goes in the coming turns. That was turn 42, I believe. Yeah, so I'll see you on turn 43. Cheers.